Now, you will talk about frequency. The question word we use concerning frequency is how often. But most of the time, you notice that students use how many times. It's come to the same. Let me give you some example now concerning that part. The first example is the following. How often do you go to the cinema? How often do you go to the cinema? And the second question is how many times do you go to the cinema? It's come to the same. Let's talk about now the weather. If you want to inquire about the weather, don't say, what is the color of the weather? We say, what's the weather like? So the question what we use here is what. Okay, what's the weather like? Or what is the weather like in Abidjan? What is the weather like in Abidjan? Or what's the weather like in Abidjan? And after, if you want to talk about, again, health, if you want to know if somebody, feel right, if somebody feel fine, we use the question word, okay, how? Yes or no? We use the question word how. For instance, how are you? How are you? It's come to the same. It's come to the same. Talking about the date, the question word we use is a what. If you want to get information about the date, we use the question word what. So, what's the date today? What's the date today? It's come to the same. In the first one, we are, let's say the contracted form. And in the second one, we are, what you call the long form. It's come to the same. Let's talk about the weight. If you want to inquire about the weight, we use the question word how heavy. How heavy. For instance, how heavy is this parcel? How heavy is this parcel? Next, if you also want to inquire about the speed, the question word here is how fast. How fast. Example, how fast did you drive? How fast did you drive yesterday? How fast did you drive yesterday? And after, we have, the age. If you want to know the age of somebody, we use the question word, how old? Example, how old is your father? How old is your father? And the last one is about quantity. But talking about quantity, we have two options. When it is about countable noun, we use how many. But what's a countable noun? A countable noun is a noun that can be counted. When a noun can be counted and we want to inquire about it, the question word we use is how many. For instance, we want to know the number of persons in your house. We say, how many persons do you have in your house? How many persons do you have in, your house? And the last one, when it is about uncountable noun. Uncountable noun, the question word is how much. What is an uncountable noun? An uncountable noun is a noun that cannot be counted. For instance, how much rice did you buy yesterday? How much rice did you buy yesterday? My dear student, I hope that you appreciate that lesson and you will meet next time for another lesson. But don't hesitate to meet us on our website. See you next time for another lesson. Bye.
Succès assuré.